Hey Blade fans, welcome back. And what's going on? Well, what I got going on today at OG Blade Reviews, in case you didn't know that's where you were, and some guy recently commented, "Oh, wow, a knife review channel." Okay, well, where you been? I guess that's a testament to my unknownness. That'll change eventually, hopefully. Anyway, you may recognize the logo on the Cordura case here, the zippered pouch, as being from none other than Monterey Bay Knives. And that is the dominion of none other than Ray Laconico and his, I guess we could call him his understudy, his apprentice, his partner now, Sanford Owen. And this is a Sanford Owen design. And it's been a while since I did a review on one of these kind of knives. A Balisong. A latchless Balisong in this case. Let's zoom back because we've got a long knife. I mean, look at that guy. But it's typical of many Balisongs. A Filipino-designed knife. Some may argue that it did crop up elsewhere, maybe China and so forth, so on. It's an S35 VN blade, titanium handles. It's got interchangeable weights from being either titanium or you can put carbon fiber in there to micro adjust the balance and the way that the knife moves in the hand. This, in my view, has been made for the Balisong aerial artists, as I like to call them, because they can do all kinds of tricks with the Balisong. I fashion myself as a FMA Balisong stylist. That means, as my teacher Leo Gahe said a long time ago, the Balisong is a knife. You open the knife and you use it as a knife. That's the whole deal right there. It happens to open and close in such a way that it will not collapse. Even a latchless Balisong, so long as you've got a grip on it. All right, and even at times when you have a lighter grip, the handles will stay together. This is running on both washers and bearings, according to what I read, although I have not disassembled it. Again, it is a design by Sanford Owen of Monterey Bay Knives, who got a lot of his tutelage in knife making and design from Ray Laconico, very, very well-known knife designer. We have a long fuller here. We have a interestingly complex compound ground blade, if you can see that. We've got a flat grind here and another flat grind here. This is a little deeper and shallower grind than the very point of it. So you could say that the point is reinforced through that method of grinding it. And we're going to get to measuring it in just a moment, but I will mention it is a pinless Balisong, meaning that the blade rests on the handles up near the tang on these ears. The Balisong company used to call them ears, what later became known as Benchmade, and before that Pacific Cutlery. I had been buying Balisongs from Benchmade, the Balisong company, when they were in Burbank, California, back in like the 80s. And Jody Sampson, who was sword maker to the stars, was their custom knife expert who was grinding all the blades by hand. Then they would put them together in their small assembly line, everything hand done in Burbank, California, the LA area. So here is the marker, Sanford Owen, S. Owen. And there's some unusual things about this Balisong. As I said, I buy Balisongs because I will EDC them, okay? The Balisong will not collapse when held in the open position. It is fairly compact in the closed position. This is an anomaly right here that I see on some of the sports-oriented or, acrobatic-oriented, trick-flipping-oriented knives, where we have a very wide separation there. My feeling is, it doesn't make me real comfortable. I think it's kind of excessive. These were on sale at $100 off at $150, and I think there's still some available. It's called the Kaiju, and that should be in the thumbnail in case I didn't mention that. These dropped from $250 to $150, and even at $250 for the materials and the workmanship, it's quite nice. But that is a bit too much separation in the handles for me. Also makes it difficult to find a pouch to hold them. There is a silicone rubber kind of a deal made by Flytanium. I know they make their own Balisong as well, that fits over here, but it is an extreme stretch to fit it over the handles here. The only reason I can think of having that much space is that over time, with use, you're going to wear down the titanium handles inside. You can already see, I don't know if you can see it or not, a little bit of polish marks on the inside of the titanium handle. Since it's steel against titanium, titanium is going to wear first before the hardened steel, especially since this is coming in at 62 to 63 Rockwell on that S35VN. All of their steels are way up there. Let's measure it up and then we'll talk more about that other topic. In the closed position, should you need to know, and I'll zoom in just a little for this part of the review. Let's do inches first. Where are you? There you are. Inches, 5 3/4 inches overall closed. That turns out to be 14.5 centimeters closed. In the open position, and notice that we don't have as much of a spread there in the open position. In the open position, back to inches, we have a 10 1/4 inch long knife with a blade that is 4.5 inches, pretty much. And going to metric again, we have a 26 centimeter long knife with a 12 centimeter long blade. Okay. Now, if I can find my tools here. There we go. We got millimeters, so let's do millimeters in the blade thickness. Fairly slim. Keeps moving around, doesn't it? Here's where I'm going to get, I can close it and get the tang, I know. 3.5 millimeters, we'll call it. Handles are 13 millimeters. Going back to inches, 0.13 inches blade stock and 0.51 thickness on the handle, just a tiny bit over a 1/2 inch. If I can get the scale without changing lights or any of that kind of stuff, turning lights off, I will. Got to circle back around on this scale to grams, and then I'm one step from ounces. The weight in grams, 140.79, call it 141 grams, and 4.97, so yeah, just a shade under 5 ounces. Heavier than it would appear when you hold it. Very light in the hand for a knife this size. So there's the specs, and talk a bit more about the knife. Feels great in the hand. Again, I do a few different flips. I do some hand changing exercises. Next to impossible to do them under the camera without hitting things or cutting myself, so I won't. Suffice it to say, I'm pretty well accustomed to the basics of the Balisong, having been handling them since roughly the mid-'80s and getting tutelage from masters in the art such as Leo Gahe. But you won't find Leo Gahe doing the tricks that the guys do that are so well accomplished with all of that. He is going to give you the basics as it pertains to tactical combat fighting use of the Balisong, or even open it for cutting boxes. So I find the blade shape very compelling. I like the fact that they do a bead blast on the grinds, and they do a really nice satin on the flats right up through the tang. We've got 4 screws, 2 on each side, holding the handles on. Again, pinless, right? There's 2 kinds of pins. There's your standard pins that go onto the blade in 2 points, and then you've got your Zen pins, which rest inside the handles, and this is neither. So it is a pinless Balisong. So curious here that we see the, we use centimeters since it's it's better at a smaller measurement, about 9 millimeters in the open position gap between the handles. And in the open position, it's like, wow, it's like 13 millimeters. What concerns me is, would my finger ever fit in between there and get skewered on the point? Probably not. I mean, the handles are considerably longer by about 1 inch than the blade when it's in the closed position. However, I wouldn't mind doing some doctoring around of this knife in the long run to maybe, when it's in the closed position, see, when it's in the open position, what is holding the handles apart from each other? What is holding the handles apart from each other? Yeah. It's that end pin of the blade. But in the closed position, the contact is on these ears right here. And you can see where the handle, actually it may not be on the ears, you can see where the handle is starting to contact the blade right at that point. So it's really that inner part of the titanium handles. I was thinking of dremeling that down just a bit. I'm not going to be flipping this thing so much that I'm concerned about wear over time. Mine is going to be a simple FMA use of the knife. All right, I do have some compares available. And the first one is a very well-known Balisong. It is the Lucha, or Luca, however you pronounce that, from Kershaw. Came out quite a while ago. A large knife, about the same size. Yeah, right in the ballpark there. Maybe a tiny bit longer than the Kaiju. It has stainless steel handles, stainless steel 1440C blade. I believe it may not be marked, but it's 14. It's on bearings. Action is very nice, except because of the steel handles, it's quite heavy. There are aftermarket handles from, I think, Kershaw in titanium, and I think they are indeed now making a titanium edition. This knife's about 3 years old, somewhere in that department. It is a latched Balisong, but they did an interesting thing. Because the blade is significantly shorter than the handles, you don't run into the problem where the latch is pinging against the tip of the blade and wearing the blade down. That's a problem we had with some of the old Balisongs back in the 80s. Bear Company and even some of the Benchmade Balisongs that were production models. Most of the ones I got from Benchmade had no latches. I've specified no latch. Gets in the way for my purposes, not needed, etc. So one thing you do have happen, however, when you're manipulating a knife with a latch, is that occasionally it stops short on the other handle. And, you know, that's about it. I got a practice version of this guy, too, that's dull, and it's all got perforations and grid work in there, too. Somebody actually wrote on a review on this that, you know, what an absurd idea to have a practice Balisong. He earned his due by getting lacerated and cut and chopped to pieces by his Balisong. That's how he learned. Well, if you're into self-abuse, go for it. I'm not. Had a call coming in there. It'll probably get edited out. Anyway, here is another interesting one. The Hellcat from Max Ace. They sent me this for review a long time ago, and nothing since. I guess he didn't like the review, although I thought it was pretty good. Another full-size Balisong in the same size range. Maybe even a tiny bit longer, but pretty much same length overall Balisong. These interesting kind of gaudy red inserts. You know, occasionally Chinese companies like Max Ace like to do this kind of crazy outlandish color schemes, but and it's okay. It's okay. It's like a red G10 on a black G10. You could probably even remove these. I don't think it's holding anything together. Might be holding the handle scales on, though. Haven't checked. Weight relieved on the inside, and it is a steel, I believe. No, look at that. Titanium handle. Woohoo! Or is it aluminum? I'm going to bet on titanium. Definitely a steel blade. Just making sure the magnet works. A real interesting recurve here with some really aggressive teeth there, serrations. I wouldn't want to grab the hot handle of this knife and have it bite me, because it would bite me good. So, you know, in Balisong use, you got the bite handle and you got the safe handle. I believe it is Manila. No, Batangas. There's Batangas and Manila. I think the Batangas has the latchless handle as the safe handle, and I think Manila has the latched handle as the bite handle. This one's on a spring, which I like, and serves a lot of purposes. It keeps it out of the way in movement and motion, but also allows you to simply squeeze, right? And the latch pops free. So kind of cool. This one does come with a pocket clip, kind of interesting. So, you know, this is more your FMA style tactical Balisong rather than one you play with. But, you know, guys will argue that and say they can pretty much play with any Balisong. So, I mean, that's cool. It is a skill I highly respect. It's just not one that serves a lot of purpose for me. Here is another Monterey Bay Knives design. And I brought it out only because it's from Monterey Bay, not because it's a Balisong. That's a design by Ray Laconico, and it is called the Pincher. It's interesting because it is a blade of ZDP 189, which is like 66 to 67 Rockwell core. There's the line. Notice that is not a hamon like you see in, what is it, North Mountain. I was going to say Black Mountain. There's White Mountain, Black Mountain, North Mountain blades. It's the core, and that is a Sanmai steel, and it comes through quite sharp. Nice design. The Pincher is a frame lock, and a lot of these are offered at pretty steep discounts right now. Make sure you got all the links. Let's put the Kershaw Lucha away. And we'll put the Hellcat by Max Ace away. I think that's 14C on that blade and 14C on the Lucha. So here we have it, the Kaiju. An interesting design by Sanford Owen. And I like the knife. I'm just not really in love with that, mainly because I can't find a pouch that gets that wide. It's kind of ridiculous, but again, it may be allowing for wear. If you know, and you're a Balisong enthusiast, and I'm sure when you see Balisong in the title of this video, you may be showing some interest and taking a look. I hope you do. Haven't checked the edge, but seems to be pretty good. I like it. Sharp enough. When you get spinning the thing and you make a mistake, you almost hope it's dull. Right about now, you'll see my logo over here. Don't forget to give it a click if you have not subscribed yet, and you will be notified every time a new video drops and other good stuff at OG Blade Reviews. Be well. Take care. Stay safe.